Welcome back. You're still watching Good Morning Namibia. Now, Sharon Mushavikwa started her poetry career at a young age, and she wrote a poem on depression, as it is Suicide Prevention Month being observed at present. This morning, we are joined by Sharon herself, who is a poet, and she's here to shed more light on her career as a poet, as well as to recite a poem for us a bit later on. Of course, this poem is themed around depression. Sharon, a very good morning to you. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Always great to engage, of course, our creatives and our artists. Just for those who are not too familiar with you or with your work, just talk to us about who Sharon Mushavikwa is, and of course, how you came to be a poet here.
Thank you so much. I am an author as well as a poet, a motivational speaker. I studied English and literature, actually. So it is through that field that I got to love the fields of poetry and storytelling. So poetry is actually a form of storytelling.
True.
Yes.
And a form of expression as well.
Yes.
How does it make you feel every time, you put pen to paper and just, really express your thoughts in such a, artistic manner?
Yes, so poetry allows you to use figurative expressions. You incorporate images, symbols, allegories, all forms of material outside to actually convey realistic events.
True. Of course, you touch on heavy subjects such as depression and suicide. You often, build your poems around the themes of mental health, etc. Talk to us about why that is so important for you, but also the power, of poetry in spreading that message around depression, around mental health, around suicide prevention.
All right. So we have seen in the last years how much suicide has gone up. We live in a world where social media actually is one of the fuels that aids mental, depression. And so it's a superficial world, and people compare themselves, their own lives to people on social media, and they feel like they are not on par. They feel like something is wrong with them, and that fuels depression. And so I think poetry is an avenue where you let people know that they are not alone, that their feelings are valid. And so me writing a poem about somebody being in a state of depression makes them feel that they're not alone, that there are other people who empathize with them, And Maya Angelou said that be the cloud, be the rainbow in somebody else's cloud. So poetry, we are the rainbow, and yeah.
Very much indeed. Of course, we are in a month, as you rightfully mentioned it, we've seen so many people take their lives. Of course, just the devastating impact, of this problem, so to say, leaving families destitute. It's not only the life that is taken, but also those left behind.
Yes.
When you look at, these cases, when you see these reports, when you, hear of engagements, and there's so much being done, so much being said about, suicide prevention, etc. What does it speak to you about our very fabric as a society right now, and where we find ourselves collectively, mentally?
I think all avenues, all sectors should really hop onto the wagon and really speak about mental health. I think for long, mental health has been a westernized concept. And when you're in an African home, you stand up and you tell your mother you are depressed. It's like, go wash the dishes. You are depressed in whose house? What is depression? So I think we are now at a mature state mentally to know that mental health is an issue and we should speak about it. And people like me, a poet like me, I can use this really to speak about what people go through, and to let people know that their feelings are genuine and we feel with them, we empathize with them, and we can tell their story through poetry.
Of course, I'm looking forward to that poem that you've prepared as part of Suicide Prevention Month. But just in closing, before you, of course, recite that poem for us, what is your message once more to the Namibian public as part of Suicide Prevention Month? You just mentioned how we each can play our role
Yes.
by, whatever career you're into. Of course, you can
Yes.
contribute in whatever small manner. Just your message to the Namibian public as part of Suicide Prevention Month here.
Yes, everyone is really going through a lot, economically, socially. Everyone is going through a lot. So when you see somebody in solitude or you have not heard from them, please pick up the phone, call them, check up on your loved ones, check up on your friends. And also take it easy with yourself. Don't compare yourself with other people. Don't compare yourself with people on social media. That's a superficial life, So be gentle. Everybody has their path. Everybody has their pace. Success is what you want, not what other people make of it.
Very much indeed.
Yes.
Sharon, thank you so much for those powerful words. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much
We
for
certainly
having
appreciate
me.
you. Thank you for sharing your talent and art with us as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
As promised, of course, Sharon Mushavikwa, she's a poet. As promised, in a short bit, she will be reciting a poem for us as part of the Suicide Prevention Month, of course, just creating awareness and shedding the light on mental health and dealing with depression. We'll be back with that in a bit. To stay with us.
Strange moon rises with me. The images in this poem depicts a state of depression. And every image here and symbol represents how one feels when you are in a state of depression. A giant, pale, round tablet crawls up an invisible ladder in the evening sky. It has a huge face with no arms. Do you see the mystical traveling bolt? The darkness is quickly crawling upon me, and these damned hyenas are laughing at me. I hear my name whispered in the cold wind. Undone, my wandering thoughts choke me. Where are the nursing mothers with their suckling, crying babies, and their knitting hands starting at their bed lamps? Long fingers yearn to touch the skin of me, and this old lady startled me. Her rose of experience frightened me. She looked intently without a blink. Hurriedly, I whisked to myself. What does she want from me? Strides of dim light insisted for me, and my pillow laid there, waiting for me. Or was it my head? A fast horse rolled without caring for me. Brown form, won't you carry me with you? The steel in my knees holds on to me until my soul is sealed. Like a stranger with no clothes, it scared me. And like a sore skin disease, it insistently clinged on me.